Thanks very much. Report cards are out, not for your kids, but for their school corporation. The Indiana Department of Education released its A through F letter grades for all the districts, and it is a bad grade for South Bend Schools, the largest corporation in our area. WSBT's Chang breaks it down for us tonight. Annie?
Jennifer, it's a D grade for South Bend Schools this year. That's the worst score of any corporation in our area. Now, we talked to South Bend Superintendent Carol Schmidt today, who says it's the system that's flawed. Patsy Foster's grandson goes to a South Bend elementary school. When I told her the corporation earned a 1.98 this year, she was
very shocked. Yeah, I can't believe it's so low.
But Schmidt says the state's rating system focuses too much on ISTEP scores and not enough on individual student growth.
If you really want to look at data, you have to have more than one data point. ISTEP is only one data point on one or two given days with variables that cannot be controlled.
Here's how the state comes up with these grades. For elementary and middle schools, it's based on English and math ISTEP scores. For high schools, it's also test scores plus graduation rates and college and career readiness levels. That's why South Bend schools are dismissing the A through F system altogether.
I think there is an inordinate amount of attention being given to a particular grade.
But not all schools are throwing out their grades. Let's take a look at some of the biggest corporations in our area. Elkhart Schools improved from a C to a B. South Bend went down a letter grade to a D. School City of Mishawaka earned a C grade again this year. PHM Schools earned a perfect 4.0, and Warsaw wasn't far behind. So naturally, PHM Superintendent Jerry Thacker is keeping his grade.
I think the model certainly shows if you're achieving excellence. I have not really looked at all of the variations in it, but I know that we've exemplified excellence for years.
Elkhart schools have a mixed reaction to the system. They're taking their B grade with a grain of salt.
We are fully aware that the General Assembly has decided that this process is not the most accurate process.
Now, Schmidt says State Superintendent Glenda Ritz wants to move towards a growth model which would measure students individually to see how much they've improved. But Jennifer, the tricky thing is not all schools are the same. So a school like a corporation like Penn Harris Madison, they wouldn't do well under a growth model because they've already set the bar so high.
Yeah, and you go back to talking about measuring students individually. That would be a big job, and it would change things. It would change the number of resources that they need and how they measure.
It would be a lot of testing, a lot of measuring.
All right, Annie, thanks.
Well, new at 6, many employees